Good morning. How's it going, everybody? Dave in Kentucky here. Another shave, have a little coffee, and want to highlight an adapter for an antique razor today. You probably saw it in the thumbnail. Just getting moving around about 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So you saw in the thumbnail probably have the Ender's Speed Shaver. So these are a little harder to find where they have the chrome strip going down them, and they come in some various colors. Bakelite. This one is a green that gets darker with age. There's red and also a yellow. I've had all three. Just held on to this one as I let go of various razors. And I'll talk about my collection a little bit here in a minute. But you can't see, unless I turn it around on the back there, an adapter on it. So you'll find that it's hard to have a razor blade that will fit this. You can get the vintage ones. They're dull as all get out. You can try sharpening them. I have always used a Schick Injector blade, and what I do is I would take the original blade, which has a couple tabs on the sides. I'll show you the adapter, how it mimics that, and I would cut off or grind off the edge of the blade, and then I would have the injector blade sit on that and push it through, and it would hold it in place. And it was a little fiddly, but not a big deal once you got used to it. But Ian, and I can't pronounce his last name, Ligocki? I may have hit it, I don't know. Anyway, he makes this adapter, and you'll see how it works. It has a couple magnets there that hold the blade onto here, and you probably can't see his logo that he has on there. He also makes other interesting items, and fiddles and makes things on his own too that aren't for sale. But these he was selling through HC&C, Hendrix Classics and Company. It's easier to catch him on Instagram now. I'll try to get a link for his Instagram down below. He doesn't really make them and have them out there for sale, but he does do them in between other things if people reach out to him on Instagram. So I'll try to put a link down in the description so you can request one if you want. Because while these are harder to find, you can find the ones that are just all black all the time. And so they're great shavers. You can find those pretty reasonable, 20 bucks or so on eBay sometimes. So let's see how this works. So you take the blade, basically, you set it on there, kind of line it up, centering it. The magnet holds it. You see the little tabs there, the ears, and basically you stick it on here, and the ears catch on the back, and you just slide it down. You hear it snap in place, and it's all lined up. Now, if I remember correctly, when Ian reached out to me and sent me this one, if I'm not mistaken, he has two different sizes that'll give you exposure. This is the more aggressive one, which is just perfect for me. I don't find it overly aggressive at all, but it's easy to feel that angle, or not the angle so much as tilting it to get the cutting action that you want. I guess it is the angle. Anyway, I don't know what the weather's like by you, but we are getting colder temps. So high today, I think the upper 30s. We were low in the 20s, lower 20s. We're going to have quite a few days this coming week that will be like that. We might have a couple that get up to freezing overnight, but the others are down in the 20s, the teens. So I'm just kind of standing my ground in opposition to the cold. I don't really go by seasons for scents. I just pick what I like. So we're going to go with Mango Sunrise, but it's the glacial formula. So heavy on the menthol. We're going to top things off with Barbasol Pacific Rush, which is also mentholated to get the lather going. I've got my Semogue 1305 soaking. It's been soaking for quite a while, so let's wet the face and get some lather. So we'll shake the brush out. So just to show, no blooming the soap. I'm not against that, but I don't bloom it. Wet brush. I'll have the water running on low in case I need a little more water to collect the soap that I want. And just give it about a 20 or 30 second load maybe. I just dip the tips there underneath the faucet just to get a little bit of water to help it build and get it into the brush. This Semogue 1305 is not a really big knot, but you get enough soap in it, it's plenty enough for 3 passes easily. You've all seen probably Fuzzy use his. He's a 2-pass shaver with the soap, so he gets plenty on his, but it's a favorite of his. He's got his that's been customized by his dog. So you can see that's what I've got there. I'm just going to rinse this tub out. I'd say Patrick Hooky Shaver. I can't think off the top of my head, but he likes the vintage stuff more, and he likes the Boar, so he probably has a 1305 too. Probably seen him use it, and I'm just not, it's not stuck in my head. All right, so menthol's already hitting my eyes. So we're just going to slowly add water and get this built up. Typical good base from Stirling. Rod and Mandy. You know, one thing I love about them is not just the value of their product. If I find a scent that is just particularly loved by me, like their Detonate is one in particular. I love the base, and I love the fact that they didn't do a bunch of testing and keep altering the soap base. They got it perfected, they started producing it, and they've just left it. So you're not constantly chasing, you might chase scents from them, but you won't be chasing after, oh, I've got to get the scent that I like in the new base now. You know, some of these artisans, it's constantly evolving bases, and it's like, you know, just don't make us the guinea pigs. Do your testing, get your product made, then bring it to market. Ron and Mandy just nailed it. They did things properly like that as far as I'm concerned. So if I tread on some toes, sorry, just my feelings on that subject. All right, so there we go. Ender's Speed Shaver. Warm the blade up. So I don't worry about certain seasons for certain scents. I just use what I feel like. And I felt like grabbing something to tell the cold weather, you ain't bothering me. Funny, you watch the news and they were telling us, I forget what, you know, what effecto we're supposed to have from the jet stream and all that. But they were saying, I think we were going to have a wet but warmer season. So getting pretty cold pretty quick, but maybe it's just a little burst and then we'll have warmer weather. I don't know. now that I'm not outside in it doing commercial window cleaning and wet hands in 20-degree weather. I don't watch and worry about the weather as much. Getting soft now inside in an office, so. Alright, got a little nick on that side there. Took off a pimple. Just need to add a little bit of water to it. So as I mentioned, Ian does have one that's a slightly less blade forward design. Just kind of backs it up a little with a little less exposure. So should you decide to put them to work, he'll communicate with you and figure out what you're wanting. Of course, he makes a lot of other things. He does those soap scrapers, and of course I'm more of a face lather, so I load from the tub. But there are times I decide, hey, you know, there's soap that's softer. So I had reached out to him, and he's going to be making me a scoop at some point. Not in a big hurry, as he does it in between other things. But I've seen so many that he's made for others, and really attractive designs, nice artistic work. All right, still a little soap in there, so we got our third pass in there. I might even add a little bit of water just to coax some more out, but I don't know that I need to. I think we're good. We lost a hair there. The brush, not me. I've lost lots of hairs. And we do allow a measure of shedding. It's excessive shedding, really. So, shout out to Fluffy Ken. Over in Maryland. Had that made at the road department where he works for me, and I love that piece. I appreciate it. I didn't even know he was doing that. It's kind of a gag gift, one of those gag gifts that's sent with warm thoughts and appreciated. So I'd reached out to Ian about doing one of those scoops for me, and it got me to thinking I hadn't used this razor in a while. Let me go ahead and get a rinse. That I hadn't used this razor in a while, and I was like, yeah, it's time to get that out. So I emailed him and asked, you know, I didn't see them. Is he still producing them? And he said, yes, it slowed down. He was getting a lot of them sold, and it had slowed down. So he is doing it more off of his Instagram now. So let's make him busy again. Get yourself one of these enders. Reach out to him. Make him quit laying around and make a few. Sorry, Ian. Well, like I said, for, you know, anywhere from 15 to 20 some, $30, you can find on eBay the black ones. There's a couple models. There's an older one that you can get, and then the more modern design that's all black. Some of those older ones came in a red too. It's just a plain, like a plastic. Then the Bakelite ones. Sometimes I wish I'd held on to the others, but you know, you can only use so many things. And like I said, this one has sat a while. Early on in my shaving journey, I would get a razor, and then I'd have to sell it if I wanted to try another one. And then I'd have regret. Oh, I wish I had kept that one. And then I might rebuy it. I've been through that, and probably all of us have done that at a time or two. And then it got to a point where as I bought one, I didn't have to sell to get another, and then the collection just kind of grew and grew and grew. And I'm at an age now, I don't want to leave a mess for my wife to have to deal with. So I may have to slowly, that's why I've let a few go when people have reached out to me in my videos and asked, hey, do you have such and such? Would you let go of that? I saw it in one of your videos. And sometimes I do. So, anyway, not a sales pitch, just saying I'm looking, I might slowly start getting rid of this stuff. It'd be nice to sell, figure out the few I want to keep, and then sell the whole collection, because when you sell it individually, the best pieces get picked over, and then you're left with stuff that are actually good razors, but people just aren't familiar with them. So anyway, long rant here. Let me get going. I hope you have a great day. Hope the weather's nice where you're at, or you can deal with whatever it is. Shout out to Eric, Maine Youper, dealing with issues up his way, and he's got some cold and weather hitting him in Maine. And fortunately, he's got that Generac generator that can keep him going when they lost power. Hope things are going well in your household, Eric. Anyway, take care, be kind, be safe out there. We'll see you on the forum.